Welcome back to Johnny Reads. So today, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm going to be telling you all the reasons why you should not be shopping at Barnes & Noble when you go book shopping. And so just to go ahead and get started right into some of the reasons, and I have quite a few. The first one is Barnes & Noble does not price match. So for example, if Amazon is selling a book for $10 and Barnes & Noble is selling it for $12, if you go into the store and say, hey, Amazon's selling it for $10, do you price match? They will tell you no. And this is actually on their website telling you that they do not price match competitors. And if you're unaware, other booksellers besides Barnes & Noble and besides Books A Million, the two largest in the US, but other companies that sell books, so like for example Walmart, Target, Amazon, obviously, they actually all price match. So if you see a book on Amazon for one price, you go on Walmart, it'll be the same price, and I believe on Target it'll be the same price as well. But Barnes & Noble, they do not believe in price matching, they do not price match, and that's the end of the story for them. But the other thing that, and this is even more absurd I think than just that in itself, is that they don't actually price match it themselves. And so, for example, if you go on the Barnes & Noble website and you buy a book, actually if you set a book up where you go online and you reserve it in store, you're going to be paying the in-store price. So on the website, let's say it's $10, but in store, let's say it's $12, you're going to actually pay the $12 price. That makes no sense at all. And that's not only just retail, like in business, like I don't think most other companies don't do that. If I went to Home Depot, if I went to Walmart, if I went to Lowe's, whatever other major retailer you can think of, where you go online, you reserve it to pick up in store, you're paying that online price. And most often you're paying the lower of whatever the price is. So if for some reason it's actually lower in store than it would be online, then you're almost always going to be paying that lower price. And like, for example, Walmart, if you were buying groceries and you did everything online to be either delivered or picked up, you're always paying the lower price. It makes no sense that Barnes & Noble does not do that. The next reason is outside of price matching, if that's not good enough for you. But the next reason would be Barnes & Noble, they have such a limited selection. I'm talking in-store, of course, but it's such limited selection. So if you go into Barnes & Noble and let's say you're looking for a fantasy book or a mystery or whatever genre you're reading, right? When you actually go to the shelves, so much of what's on the shelves is going to be either really popular books, even if they're not current bestsellers, like for example Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, those are always going to be there. But you're usually not going to see too many books that have been published outside of the last 5 years. You're not going to see too many books that aren't either really popular or current bestsellers, and so you're extremely limited in your selection. And to even go on top of that is that these books that you're going and looking at, they're asking you to pay full cover price on. And you might be thinking, I mean, what else is there? That is absurd. So it's very common for retailers when it comes to books to charge for paperbacks the full price. And I'm talking the mass market, the small paperbacks, the ones that you can see just over my shoulder. It's very common for those to be full price because the margin is so small in those books, so there's not really any wiggle room. The problem though is that let's say you're looking for a hardcover copy of a book that was published, let's say 8 years ago. So nothing new, it's not a super popular book, it's not a current bestseller, and so you find it, luckily, which again, you're very limited in your selection, but let's say you find it in Barnes & Noble, you're going to be paying full price. And most hardcovers nowadays, $27 to $29 or something. So you're going to be paying $29 for a book that's 8 years old and not super popular, not a current bestseller. Absolutely absurd. And let me just counter that with Amazon, Walmart, other major book retailers. Books A Million is very similar to Barnes & Noble, so I would say don't go there either. But Books A Million, they're the second largest in the US, but I don't feel like anybody thinks about them when they think of buying books. Maybe I'm just me because there's only one in Houston, I don't know. But anyway, other retailers, it's not going to be the case. So for example, you could be looking at the same book that you're holding in your hand in a Barnes & Noble store, and on Amazon, on the website, it's going to be significantly cheaper, no matter what it is, essentially. And that's just about every single time. Now, I know that some of you might be watching and you might think, well, I have a Barnes & Noble membership, so that helps. Barnes & Noble membership is worthless. So you're paying $25 a year, and you're like, that's nothing, $2 a month, basically. That's absolutely nothing, and, I can afford it. Your major perks for a Barnes & Noble membership are you get free shipping on all your online orders. But again, they're already more expensive than everybody, so it's like, what are you really paying for? And then also, you get, they say 40% off of current bestsellers, hardcover bestsellers, but the reality of it is it's just 10% because just about everybody gets 30% off for current hardcover bestsellers. And so you get a 10% discount on books that are already almost always more expensive than just about everywhere else you can get them. Now, if you like wasting money and just throwing it out the window, that's fine. So if that's where you are in terms of shopping at Barnes & Noble versus another store, that's fine. But the last point that I want to make here is that there's this myth that Amazon consistently sells books at a loss so that they can pull you in to spend more money on the site. And it's literally a lie. Because Amazon, which without even doing any research, I'm pretty confident that Amazon sells more books in the US than any other company, including Barnes & Noble, including Books A Million, including Half Price Books. And I don't think it would be particularly close. But what people don't realize, at least the regular average person going to the bookstore, is that these retailers, like any other merchandise, when they buy the book, they're getting a significant discount. And so Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, those large companies that are selling a lot of books, they are most likely getting the top discount. So most of the time it's going to be 55%. And so let's say you have a hardcover book that just came out, and let's say the MSRP, the price on the book is, we'll just say $30, just to make it nice and even. So Barnes & Noble, Amazon, even probably Walmart, honestly, they're going to get a 55% discount on that price of the book when they're buying it. So they're paying 45% for the book. And so when you think of Amazon selling or underselling Barnes & Noble or maybe another retailer, it's that they're not actually selling it at a loss. They're just selling it below the list price of the book, but still well above what they paid for the book. And so if you're in this mindset that, oh, I don't want to buy at Amazon because they're underselling blah, blah, blah at a loss, you get that out of your head. It's a complete lie, because Barnes & Noble is getting those same discounts that Amazon's getting, but then they're asking you to pay that full price for the book. Does it really make sense? And I know I talk about half price books all the time in all of my videos because that's pretty much the only place that I go for books. But with that pricing that I just explained to you, so if you go to Barnes & Noble and if you go to half price books and you find the exact same book, yes, one is going to be used. Yes, we'll 100% admit that. But if you find the exact same book, and let's say again, it's not a current bestseller, it's also not one of those super popular books that is always going to be sold, like again, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, those types. You could be holding a hardcover copy at Barnes & Noble and being charged $27 for a new copy of the book, and you could be holding that exact same copy. It isn't new, but it's also in very good condition because for the most part, in most genres, there's only a couple genres where books are consistently in bad shape. And so let's just say this one is in really, really good condition, like new condition, and it's $7.99. So $27, $7.99, because half price, generally speaking, they will price their hardcover books that are not current bestsellers or current new releases at $7.99. So that's even less than half the publisher's price that they would normally price. And that's not even talking about the paperbacks, because paperbacks are always at half price the publisher price. So if you have a book where you're looking at the price of $16 on it, then at half price that's going to be $7.99. If you're looking at a regular mass market that's $7.99, then obviously it's going to be $3.99. And so again, you just factor all of those different things in. There's no reason whatsoever to shop at Barnes & Noble for your books, unless you just don't care and you're just throwing money away. Now I understand that half price books is not at every, in every location of the country. I get that. But again, you can buy online at half price. You can also buy online at Amazon. And you can get that myth out of your head that Amazon sells books at a loss. so they can get you to spend more money. It's literally a lie. That's all I have for you today. Just a few reasons why you should not be spending your money to buy books at Barnes & Noble. And if those aren't enough, well, keep throwing your money away. It's your money, right? But that's all I have for you. Do you shop at Barnes & Noble? Do you go to half price? Or maybe you go to a local independent store? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.